All right. Well, hopefully this is going to work out good. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully they're still waiting for me. This is going to be some pretty great red alert. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is the moment. This is the Latof games stream. Hi. Sorry. This guy would not quit. Yes. Give me this up. Alright, so it looks like I might be actually allowed to observe this game. Poltergeist. It's a Latof favorite. Seems like every time I join his game, this is what's up. So I might even go so far as to say I think this is his favorite map. We haven't started yet, which means I might not actually be observing any of these games. Kind of feel like the no obs is coming up. Sorry. Nice. Very great. Alright. Well, I'm going to kill time for a minute by giving a little perspective here. So, in my understanding of the all-time greats of Red Alert 2, and from my experience, which began in 2007, there are 4 names, I think, which are kind of like they had historically dominant periods. And the first name is Kane, that I know of. And I don't really know anything about this Kane guy, other than I think he was dominant maybe on like the original Westwood shit. I don't even know what the hell that is. I played the game like noob styles versus my friend, and never came online really, other than just to like buddy list or whatever. I don't know, but anyways, Kane was the first, and I think he has like rank 1 for everything for some number of years that are in the early going. Then of course Tommy, Tomi, Mr. Rank 1. And I don't know if you guys can read that, but Marsh is saying hello. Anyways, I don't want to not mention Tommy, of course. Tommy was the player that I was the sort of like, he was the mythical number 1 guy who didn't play when I started. He was away from the game at that time. And anybody who you would ask in the quick match at that time would say who's the best ever, they would say Tommy. But during that time was also this ascent of Marco, who's my like Red Alert hero. Got to watch a lot of good games back in the day when Marco was quick matching a lot. And I have to say, of all the players I've ever watched, he's been like the most fun to watch. He has pretty diverse skills at the game, obviously excellent tank control. He has pretty neat ability to adapt, particularly damage control. Whereas the next player I'm about to mention, the player we're going to watch tonight, Latof, has insane unit control, just the best, probably the best ever. And he has massive damage control as well, but mostly just in defense, because he's not even in damaged. He's never getting damaged. Deso, sentry guns, and he spots any kind of split that ever happens. Whereas Marco like builds pieces of wall while he's getting his building shot, and you're like, what's this piece of wall in my way? I don't have time for this. And then like, you know, your actual tank lead dies and you don't get anything because these bits of wall are popping up. Marco's crazy. That doesn't do justice to it. I didn't do justice to the names before him. And then Latof tonight, who's been number 1 for like a few years now, had a month in the quick match where he went like 80-0. And it's not so much that he won 80 games, that he didn't lose any games at all. That's never happened before. I know he tried probably pretty hard for that. My bad, my bad. Check that out. Nothing's happened. So hopefully that fixed the problem. So we're sitting on Poltergeist and they've been out doing nothing. A couple of chit chat. But I think we're getting ready to play. So I don't know. But we should be good now. How's the audio, mate? Can you hear me? Everything's good? Or anybody who's watching? Didn't slap anything. I mean, you won the whole game, and then they just wouldn't quit defending a sentry gun for 5 minutes because I'm inept. We ready? I'm good. I'm accepted. All right. Well, pretty exciting moment here. I really enjoy the few times that I have gotten to watch games of Latof. Nice, nice. Okay, let's just quickly check. John Nom, I don't know, get it. That's Latof. Marsh is an allied player who is in the top right. The map is Poltergeist. I think this map is the one that I like to see the battle lab on. If you guys have watched the streams, I'm talking about that battle lab. It glows in the dark and it's pretty cool. But anyways, on this map, it's a pretty big map. It's kind of a bit like Country Swing, except not at all. There's no cliff set in the middle, but there is a sort of dividing thing that runs diagonally across the map in the same way. There is derricks in the top left and the bottom right. And when you play from the bottom left and top right positions as your spawns, then these become remote expansions. You're definitely expected to build off of them pretty quickly. Maybe as soon as your second refinery. Get a second war factory pretty quickly. And yeah, you've got this war going on this way, going on this way. There's obviously what's happening. Units are coming up and down through here, all over the place. So games are pretty good here. It's symmetrical, so there's no reason to think that one player has an advantage over the other. Here's Latof's first tank. This is like 1.5 of regular tanks. Alright, so smooth split going on over here. Except that I'm shooting the pillbox is bad value for the Rhino. Marsh is make sure you mention that we've got none other than the Latof himself in the game. With his splits, he's already got this MCV on the rocks. And there's this shit going on. Miners are dying. He's so fast that it's hard for the observer who's noob to keep up with it. But Marsh saved his MCV. This miner's damaged, this miner's damaged. So how much damage? Well, 4 miners for Marsh. I don't really even have time to check how many Latof miners exist because he's attacking non-stop, which is what you're supposed to do. He's got 3. Rhinos have a greater range. So if you drive into Rhinos as allied tanks, before your tanks do anything, they get a bunch of bullets in the face. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. Except not at all, it's just getting bullets in the face. And probably think this has got to be a good game. Oops. Almost spilled me water, but I didn't. It's one of those things you gotta be really glad about. If ever you start complaining about you stubbed your toe, you did something. I just almost dumped this water. That would have been such a pain in the ass, but I didn't drop it. And now I'm very glad. I'm also witness to the first game of the series where Latof won. Just constant pressure. I think that's probably Latof's pick for map. I would imagine it was. So now we've got Marsh's pick. This is Urban Rush. It's not even fixed. But how long is it going to stay this? Not very long. Top versus bottom. On a map they both like. Dry Heat, a classic. Classic of the modern era. Pretty much, in fact, coinciding with when Latof got here. Top versus bottom. The variant of choice. This is what they're playing. Pretty much exclusively. It's very rare that somebody picks a regular one. From what I understand, left side has it rough. For some reason, maybe cliff face, I'm not sure. So I never felt that way when I was playing it. Latof is purple. And this is not an attempt right here. This is not an attempt to block by Marsh. But it is. Look what happened. This miner got some idea like it couldn't come up here. So then it decided, okay, this huge retarded sweep. Sometimes that's fucking annoying. Look what happened too. So 1.5 rhinos are attacking. Latof figured this out. So he got a little bit of gold and a lot of glory. Though I don't want to overstate anything. Two miners for Latof. 3 miners for Marsh. Air defense. No airport. And that was crap. He was shooting a GI. Marsh is probably going to get a bit excited and chase this, but watch. 1 free rhino. Still. So if he gets an IFV and can repair this, then it's not so bad. But the chasing him there, because he knew that Latof shot his GI. So he thought, maybe I'm going to run in here and I'm going to do something here. Airfield is up. And that means splits, paradrops are going to be coming. Latof will have to watch out for that. In addition to, obviously, plains and Rockies. But it won't be long now before the radar dome is up, I would imagine. And lots of Latof space becomes totally inaccessible. This is coming. Dual pillbox, and it's a good idea. You might be thinking I'm going to spread them out. I'm going to have various points. But this is actually like a rock. This is Allied tanks are faster than Allied dogs, but not by much. That wasn't the best TC. The reason being, he started with his tanks in front of his dogs. And he just ran straight. So few tanks arrived before his dogs did, and they got easily picked off. Good game. It's kind of different. This game is it's funny. It's a lot about your confidence. Just like anything. And Latof gets rank 1 like every time. So feel a little bit more anxious maybe during these games. To Marsh. The observer spot is now open. Jungle Vietnam. I'm gonna guess that Latof didn't choose this. I would say the first 2 maps have been Soviet favored. Poltergeist is pretty even. Dry Heat. Definitely a Soviet map in my opinion, but again, Allies can win. Latof is about the most pure Soviet in terms of exploiting the fundamental Soviet techniques. So when the map is decidedly Soviet, then he has a huge advantage. This map is Allied. More so. It's pretty campy. Obviously these rings of land are pretty narrow passageways. So if you have some kind of split going around here, well, it's really vulnerable from above. It's also easier to pinch it off. Get behind Prism Tower. So it's harder to split the guy apart, and there's not really one large entrance into their base where you're on the same level as them. Attacking uphill is obviously harder. A bit of junk in the way, it's not that easy to rush. Latof's on 3 miners. This one, you can send it down here. I think it's pretty good. It's somewhat like one of the lessons you can learn from basic quick matching is sometimes it's better to just have your miner grab distant gems. Hammer and sickle, bottom left spot, there's gems that are pretty far away. But it's commonly thought of, those are the thing, that's what you get first. Here it's so you can do that too. It's much closer even, so it's probably a good idea. Give credit to Dan for West NZ. That's who I saw that from first. Well, this didn't really get much, except for this. Look at that. Where's he gonna go? This you can't really go. He's not going there. So Latof has 5 miners. Marsh has 6 miners. Latof loses very few games per month. He might lose some to Marsh. But this is crazy. It's like, you know, those AI players? Brutal AI, Heckai AI, where the computer players just like have a waypoint on all of your tanks that will ever be made. Or whatever. Yeah. It's like Latof. You got a tank, he clicked it. Stay. It's hard to beat this guy. Marsh is one of the players who can do it, though. Hey everybody. I don't know how many of you know, I'm sure Zia is telling you, but this guy here is Mr. Champion. Pretty dominant player right now. And Marsh is obviously an excellent allied player. One of the top players right now. Me, I'm your host, DistantQ. I'm a pro spectator. Got a lot of experience watching games, especially after my base has been destroyed but my ally is still alive. No, I'm kidding. One scout from Latof. One scout that didn't get much. Probably see this much. He sees the power plant, but I don't think he's seeing too much else. And that's it. He's not getting through there anymore. He's only going to scout through here now. Not too sure where Marsh is with his scouting, but as far as I know, he just anti-scouted and that's it. Yeah, he's making an effort to scout, so gotta think that he can't see through here either. Latof is a crappy refinery. He didn't scout, so he just had to drop it here. That's what I think happened, at least. It's hectic, you know? You got stuff to do, forget about this. And then you end up with a refinery like this. And this... That's not ideal. This is not even ideal. Probably won't matter. He's going 2 miners. This is a good idea against Allied. Why? Because once they get a battle lab and a naval yard, if then you're starting to make subs, you're too late. You have to have 3 subs. That naval yard comes up, boom, torpedoes. And you let them know, I've got submarines, they're better than dolphins. Until the dolphins get a sufficient number, and especially in a small, tight area like this. Watch this. It's going to be, hello. Got subs already. Just letting you know. 3, 1, 2, 3. So now this is going down, and there's going to be some weak dolphins. They're probably going for this. That's what you do. Look how fast they can kill it. Latof has to kill this too. He's going to deal with the dolphins after. Boom. But look at... Gems are gone. He's got to get up here. Next building for Latof, probably going to be a refinery up here. 5 miners. He's good. I'm wrong. He's chasing down these dolphins and he's got a naval yard. So Latof is in the sea. He doesn't slow down. Marsh is pretty good at using tech allied units to bust through, even in the face of desolators. So he just rushed through here. What's he gonna pick up? Is he gonna pick up anything? Now that is bad value. 0 donuts. Here's the scout. Missed with the plane. That's such an annoying thing. Of any time, that could have been a better time to not miss. It was a head-on shot, I think, so it's just like, just a bad time. You can get discouraged with bad luck. That's what you call luck. Get annoyed about that. It's important not to start taking your foot off the gas because you got a little bit of bad luck. He definitely had some bad luck too. Just don't know where. Here's the classic technique. Kirov is going to begin to absorb the anti-aircraft fire, and these are going to start to get through. But this is not to question Latof here, but where's this all going? Where is Marsh's refinery? Who can tell me? Yeah. It's moved on to the next world. So will Marsh in a moment. At least from this game. That stuff with the Mirage tanks, that's mostly a product of who he's playing. Back to port. Conducting repairs at a leisurely pace. Marsh still has a base, and he still has 5 miners. 6 miners, and they're allied miners. I don't even know what we're seeing here. I can't tell if this is Latof being serious, or Latof's like, I do it one by one because I can. But if it is cocky crap like that, should be careful. Marsh is no quitter. Marsh fights hard. Look at this, see? Does this look like a guy who's dead? This is still a barbecue, man. Latof says, fine then, fine then. I can do it right if you want me to. Back to port. Marsh has him running away. Nice. Seriously, nice. What's gonna happen? It's gonna be hard to get it out of here. Come on, nice. The boat's on the bottom. She'll never fly again. That's what they say about the nuke silo. Refinery's in a pretty weird spot. It's been paradropped to death, no doubt. Been missing it. It's part and parcel of this stream. You have to use your imagination for a bit of it. But, wow. I really don't know who's going to win now. There's no battle lab here. These miners are doing shit. These are Soviet miners collecting crappy ore from 50 miles. Blah! Bad value. Saved. Marsh is ready to come in. He's not waiting around. Doesn't need an invitation. He's uninvited by Latof. Latof is saying, my God. Marsh is saying, damn right. 1 miner. Nope. Clicking tanks. Marsh can do that too. Latof somehow manages to work a deso into position to defend himself. My goodness, is he gonna trap it? Don't die on this shit. Oh, wow. That's 3, 4. And he still has 4 miners. Wowzers. Nice. Pretty cool spot. I didn't see this before. You don't really tend to have a miner there. Latof is like, oh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sell that. That's okay, man, because he's planning on building one here anyway. How much time does he have to build it? How much dollars does he have? Bet you he's not exactly flush. As in sentry gun kind of rich? Because I don't think so. Marsh says, fine then. You can do it over here. Latof says sentry gun rich. Thought there was an ore refinery coming? Sometimes he'd rather have a sentry gun. Oh, Marsh, man. Nice. What do I know? I don't know nothing. Nicely done. Get him down! And last hurrah. This is it. This is a big win. Nicely done. Did I say it was game over a while ago? Something about Marsh lost it? Anyways. Who won? Nicely done, Marsh. So I think it's 2-1. Maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, which I easily could be. But I think it's 2-1. That was a pretty hard-fought game. Latof did the right stuff. Got the early naval yard. He took control of the Navy, because obviously if Allied gets control of the Navy, it's a big pain. And could be the end of the game. But here we have Snow Valley, classic map. Most everyone will know this map, I would imagine. Did they play top left versus bottom right? It's typically thought of as the more fair starting positions. Top right is considered the worst. This lengthy cliff face, you can get split up. Doesn't happen here. And this is a good place to put a desolator, especially if you're playing another Soviet player. There's a good chance they will never scout this little piece. You can't scout it from underneath of it. And when are you going to bother to get over here? There's especially it's Soviet, your player. So in the beginning, there's miners collecting gems. They've got a gun. You can never scout this, and you might not. So later in the game, you have a desolator here, and here comes your split with all your dogs, and it's all good, and there's nothing you can't see, and then boom, desolator. Lose all your dogs, burn your tanks, and just like, wow, I hate that. So, something to think about. This is a pretty weird build, but I'm sure it works just great because Latof's doing it. I don't recommend it really. And I would prefer to get another miner probably. But since you're playing Allieds, you don't want to deal with the paradrop here. You don't want to have this stupid... If you go 2 miners, then a lot of times there's a paradrop and a Allied few tanks who show up for the first attack is Allied. Can actually cause some damage. Latof says no way. One miner. I'm going to be the first one to attack. And that paradrop is going to go over here somewhere. He's got 4 miners. He built this refinery here and moved the miner back. That's how he was stretching. Didn't move his MCV. It's been nothing but refineries for Latof. Man, 2 tanks are pretty vulnerable, but I'm sure he knows that Marsh is watching these 3. In the face. 1. It's called taking advantage of the Soviet range. And now, hanging out, taking advantage of the Soviet range. Devastating. So aggressive. This is going to be being shot. This is a great refinery you'd rather not lose. Probably don't want to promote these completely healthy tanks. And if you bother following them, well, there's a new problem. So these are going to have a shot at your MCV. And is there shit happening over here? No. Boom. Picking him off. This is clicking. Oh. What happened to the miner? It probably beamed away. But don't think it's going to get beamed this time. These are the 2 tanks that came down here. They're over here now. They're not in any bad shape. He's constantly working his splits. There's never a time when they're just hanging out doing nothing. And the other opponent who's under pressure is the first to notice that those are doing nothing. Latof works the splits, holds his opponent's attention, and makes something happen. Good control. Marsh doing the last thing you can do. Send it in with air. Good game. So it's 3-1, I believe. Hey, anyone can correct me on that or confirm that for me? 3-1, I think. Which is good. We just moved to best of 9 quick match format. So there's a few more games to be played. Which is a treat for everybody. See how aggressive Latof is. How much sooner than most players he is attacking. Like we just watched a big series with Mikos and Marsh. Mikos always had like 4 or 5 rhinos and a few dogs. That's usually how I find myself too. Latof has like 1 or 2 rhinos. And those rhinos, they're not like 2 rhinos that come and fuck around and go back home. 4-1, thank you. So this could be the final game. Yeah, not 2 rhinos that come in while you disguise that you're building a couple miners. and then they run back home after they get a couple pillboxes made. 2 rhinos that come in, and then 2 more rhinos, and 2 more rhinos. And they just come in until you're dead. It's a bit different. But I hope not this game. It's kind of an allied map. Look how big it is. There's 4 derricks. They're kind of like this. If you're in the bottom left, you get this one, you get this one, and typically you'll get this one. Airport, and sort of the opposite, obviously, in the top. If you start in this top middle and bottom middle positions, then bottom will grab the derrick on the left, the derrick on the further left, and top middle grabs this one. Is obvious, it's really close to you, and then they'll grab the right side one. Airports speak for themselves. So with so many bridges, it's kind of hard to scout it all. And 1 hour game. Why are these here? I don't know what they're doing up there. Maybe they're trying to hide from the fact that they were being made. And he's planning to swing them around. I mean, here they are. There's a plane come chasing them. I think he made those tanks, and he rally pointed them out of a place where he knew Marsh hadn't got a scout yet, so that kind of didn't get seen until there was 2 of them. Why? That's why. Because there's no derrick here now. And there's 5 rhinos over here. There's no airport here. And this one is being shot by conscripts. Gee whiz, where'd they all go? It's like, it kind of looked like Marsh didn't do anything, but I know what happened. It's just like everything got attacked at once. I didn't see it. Sorry guys for that. I mean, I'm pretty shitty at looking at things, it looks like. No better at observer than I am in game. But what do you think's happening here? Marsh has all these dogs. Do you think he's actually going to try and run across this bridge? If he runs across the bridge, has he got any chance of at all? What's the story? At some point, I think Latof is going to run across the bridge. So when Marsh lost his derrick, he lost his expansion. He's got to grab an MCV and bring it for a little tour. It's kind of nice, actually. Now that it's over here, it's pretty close to the main army. Well, I think he demonstrates his power pretty much every game, which is another thing that distinguishes him. Very consistent. Sometimes he acts like he doesn't care, but I'm pretty sure he cares a lot. I think he cares about the game too. Marsh is saying, me and this army of dogs. So, like Miko's let a paradrop just have a spot between him and his destination. Latof cleans that up and then proceeds onward. Much better idea. Marsh is like, fuck these bridges, I need to kill everything. I don't want this stuff happening. Latof says, go home for now, why not? Gonna see some Desolator style. Latof is teched up. Don't see the tech for Marsh. Latof is coming through. That plane's gonna die. I think there's probably gonna be a naval yard popping up. I mean, that would be my first thought, at least. He's got this. He's got a tank lead. He's got a naval yard. You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing a paradrop. Couldn't see it though. What's happening down here? Nothing. And mining operations completely uninterrupted. Dreadnought operations commencing. First target, refinery. Please don't try and attack the Dreadnought, because he knows that the next unit's going to be a Sea Scorpion. I.e. the nautical anti-aircraft. It's totally nautical, dude. Oh yeah. Navy. Incoming transmission on the cellular phone. You're a fucking idiot, noob. Whoops, that was for PAF. Lol, lol, lol. Sorry, Matt, I just had to read that one. And if it was for PAF, well, it's been delivered. So yeah, PAF said it's going to be an hour. And chances of an hour-long game have gone up. The sneaky all-around-the-world planes attack on the boats was a failure. Nothing happening up here. This bridge is getting pretty annoying now. Oof. They can shoot this shit, you know? There's so many tanks that I think he could have even put dreadnought missiles into the middle of that group and they wouldn't have been able to get out of the way in time. Here he comes. This is a scary moment when you can't even just plug the bridge. You're just like, fuck. Marsh is like, fuck, man. He needs to kill those Desos. He'd love to get more of this fodder killed. And he did a pretty good job. The Desolators were the real threat. Now he could mush, I think. He could go forward. But I'm not going to tell Marsh how to control his tanks. There are a lot of conscripts who are willing to do the job. Nice TC by Latof and Marsh. Look at how he knew how to design a way to get Latof to run through his Rockies for all day. That was pretty cool. That would be worth checking out in a slow motion replay. Functionality not yet enabled. I need the whiteboard too. I want to draw stuff. Draw smiley face. Latof wins. Looks like I was a little quick to say Latof wins. Latof's gonna win when Tanya is dead. But I don't think actually Marsh is gonna drag it out. Let's see. Tanya's over here. Other thing is that Latof probably knows how to stop this from being dragged out. He's got an MCV. He's got a couple of dreadnoughts. He's got a split. Now, where are the black tracks with engineers? Getting ready to send the Navy out. Kirov reporting. Helium mix optimal. Latof's repairing boats. I don't need this boat. You hear that? That's Tanya dying. Good games. Good games, guys. You gotta win, Marsh. I get a win versus Latof once every year. I do have a win versus Latof. That's right. Who cares? Good game, well played both. I enjoyed watching these games. I hope you guys did too. I'm not sure what's coming up next. Maybe more games, maybe not. These Rockies. Looks like this should be really good on this map. They can really go anywhere. Nice. Observe this. You can shoot dolphins across the bridge and they do massive damage to the units that are crossing over it. Yeah. That's one thing you can do. Well, good games to Latof. Thanks for both players allowing me to watch.
Player defeated.
5-1 to Latof. Let's just see what happens now. I see Ed is online. I don't know, maybe he'll play Latof. Maybe not. He never said anything about that. Well, for now I'm going to turn off the stream because I want to have this video be just about this one series. So, good games for Latof and Marsh. Thanks for letting me watch. Thanks for everybody who did watch. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm going to be trying to do more of these commentaries, but Yes, Matt versus Latof. That would be great. You can check us out on XWIS.net. That's the server that we're playing on. And XWIS.net/F is the forums. We're having a prize invasion this month, so everyone is welcome to come in. You need a valid Red Alert 2 serial to play, but lots of us are playing. Lots of us might be able to hook you up with that. So speak to anybody if you have friends, or I know that PAF is one guy you can connect through if you're a GR player. And we'd love to have you. We have, as I say, this prize invasion going on this month, so come and check it out. And thanks for watching.